While you're sitting at home, we know that everyone is pretty bored. My name is Kevin Schaefer. I'm a lieutenant here in the Manassas City Fire and Rescue Department. This is Lieutenant Jamie Jewett. Today we are going to go over the tower ladder. I know that we have gone over the engine already and we have more videos to come. But today, Jamie's going to help us go through the tower ladder, and Jamie, I'm going to help you.
Sounds good. Thanks for coming out and joining us. We're going to take you guys on a tour of the tower ladder. So starting off, just like with the engine company, we have the driver's area. So the driver is responsible for driving the rig to the scene, positioning the scene on the scene properly, and maintaining safety for the crew and himself. As you can see here, we've got the ignition switch. Schaefer's going to go ahead and get this thing fired up.
So basically, inside of here is no different than the engine that we went over. Of course, it's got all the controls, all the lights, and everything else. Radios, and basically the driver's job on this side of the truck, on this side, is to handle everything this way and outside.
Yeah, and one thing to note, everybody, is this fire truck weighs over 80,000 pounds. So driving it can be very difficult. It's also 12 feet tall. So it takes months and months of training to become proficient at driving this vehicle. So that's one thing that we pride ourselves on, is being very good at being able to handle this vehicle and take it where it needs to go.
It's also a great big huge toolbox. On the engine that we showed you before had a bunch of water. This tower ladder only carries ladders and tools, so wherever we go, we have to have the support from the engine company. But the engine company also needs us. We got ladders, we have all the tools to get them where they gotta go. Plus, if we have something that's on fire, Jamie, that we need to put the aerial up and put water down, we gotta be there. Now, the back of the compartment, no different than the engine. We get up, we ride backwards or forwards, and the air packs still ride the same way.
Yeah, that's right. This vehicle has seating for 6, just like the engine does. Typically, we only ride with 3 people on the apparatus, though. But we have room for more, and as you can see in the cab as well, we have some hand tools mounted. We have those there so we can quickly grab them when we get to the scene and then go and force entry into a house if the doors are locked. So, and as we move further down, you'll see we have the driver's equipment compartment. So we also have the air pack right here for the driver. You may have noticed in the driver's seat there's no air pack, but every other seat has an air pack, because the driver can't safely drive down the road with an air pack. So he has the ability to keep all his gear stored in this compartment, and when we get on scene, he can quickly put on all his turnout gear, which he has to do in under 30 seconds, put his air pack on, grab his helmet, and then continue up to the fire ground. It has a 101-foot aerial that we can reach the top of every building in Manassas with. In the city, we have a 5-story building, and in the surrounding areas in Manassas Park and Prince William County, we have a 7- and a 9-story building. So we can reach the top of all of those buildings.
The tower ladder is built for speed. If you guys know that your house is on fire, we're not like lollygagging around, we're not shopping at the mall. We have to put things on this truck so that you know when we're there, we're in a hurry. So when you see hooks or things set up to be in a hurry, we're trying to get there as fast as we can and do things as quick as we can in a safe method.
Yeah, as we notice here too, we've got a 2.5-gallon water can mounted to the exterior of the vehicle as well. So we have a 6-foot hook here, this 2.5-gallon water can, they're usually carried together. This is very similar to an at-home fire extinguisher, only it just has water and pressurized air in it. But this allows us, if we're away from a hose line, to protect ourselves from fire or put out small fires.
First thing we do when we get into a house fire is make sure that we kill all the utilities, the gas and the power. And when that happens, it turns out that it doesn't matter if it's in the middle of the day, it's going to be dark in there. So the light compartment that Jamie can tell you about, that we have the cord reels and the lights.
That's right, Kevin. We've got a 250-foot cord reel, and on the end of this cord reel, we have a junction box that has 4 different outlets on it. And we actually have 2 of these reels. We've got one on the other side that's the exact same. We have battery-powered lights here as well, which allow us to operate without the cord reel. And then we have a bunch of extension cords in this bag. So this gives us options as we're on scene and we're working to be able to have light and power available for whatever we may need.
Next thing that happens inside a house fire is it gets really smoky where we can't see. And of course, smoke is really an enemy of us just as much as being inside of a house fire. So we try to get rid of that smoke. Of course, smoke goes up, goes out the windows. So Jamie, tell us a little bit about what we have here.
Yeah, so to tie into this power cord in this compartment, we have our fans. So we get these fans going. As soon as the fire is extinguished, we need to get all that smoke out as quickly as possible. So we have 3 fans here that we're able to set up at different spots throughout the house to allow us to remove that smoke very quickly. That's also why you'll see us breaking windows. We break windows so that we can have as much room as possible to get that smoke out. And that way, if there is anybody still inside, we can maybe get some of that smoke to lift and give them the ability to breathe a little better.
Plus, everybody wants to be able to see. If you can't see, it makes your job a lot harder. All right, moving down this side of the tower ladder here, you guys will see that we also carry ropes. like Jamie was talking about, we have some 5-story buildings, but we also have some buildings that are a little taller out in the county, and we also have some places that are down below grade, like downside the hills. Jamie, tell us a little bit about what we have here.
Yeah, so we've got a full rope rescue complement here that gives us the ability to do a multitude of different things. But basically, if someone is stuck somewhere that you can't get to by foot, and we need to get them down in a Stokes basket or up in a Stokes basket, we have the ability to set up a rope system off of the aerial, and that allows us to pretty much put people where they need to go and get them out of situations and rescue them.
Next compartment is basically just a salvage and overhaul. We've got tubs, we've got tarps. We also have a little bit larger light to go in with the other compartment there with the other battery powered lights. But this compartment here, basically just to go and clean up. We get into a fire, we need to put some embers or something into a can, or we're trying to trap some water. So this one's not too exciting, just a big tool side here.
Yep.
This one is the fun one.
That's right. One thing to note on this compartment, when we do put holes in people's houses, we try to patch them up. So we understand that when we are breaking windows and we're cutting holes in roofs, that's someone's home. So we try to take a little care and a little extra pride just to prevent them from being exposed to any more damage than is necessary. But as Kevin said, moving down to the saw compartment, this is by far my favorite compartment. In here we have 5 different types of saws, 2 chainsaws and 3 rotary saws that allow us to cut holes in roofs, cut metal, really cut concrete. We can pretty much cut apart anything that we'd like. And then on the bottom, we've got a portable generator, and then we have some spare fuel and a saw maintenance box. So with all these tools comes a lot of cleaning and a lot of maintenance.
And like Jamie was saying, we do have to cut holes in roofs. A lot of people ask that question, is why do we go up on the roof and cut a hole? Well, smoke's gonna go up. And if we can't get the smoke out and the windows are blocked for some reason, or we can't break a window, or it's just a room without a window, we have to get the smoke out. So we go to the roof automatically to get rid of the heat, get rid of the smoke. Smoke's gonna go up, we're gonna cut a hole and let it go up.
Yep, smoke and fire takes the path of least resistance. So sometimes it is much easier for us to cut a hole in a roof and get that smoke to lift from the floor level, and that gives people potentially a better ability to survive. Moving into this compartment, this is Kevin's favorite compartment.
I love this compartment.
This is Kevin's absolute favorite compartment because he gets to help people. And
right.
that's why he signed up for the job, and that's why I signed up for the job. This is our EMS compartment. So just like the engine company, right, Kevin?
Yeah.
It's almost identical. We have all of our EMS equipment, and just so you guys know at home, we keep EMS equipment on this rig because we answer EMS calls as well. Many times in the city, we'll have multiple calls going on at the same time. So the engine and the medic unit from this station could be out and another call comes in. We have the capability to respond with the exact same equipment that they would have.
Moving around to the back here, Jamie, let's talk about the ladders here on the back side of the truck. This truck carries a multitude of ladders.
That's
so
right, 253 feet of ground ladders to be exact. So it's the tower ladder. So we specialize in ground ladders. When we get to many dispatch house fires, a lot of times we actually don't need to use the aerial, and we can accomplish our tasks with these ground ladders. So here you'll see the different lengths of the ground ladders. We've got 35, 28, 16, and a 45-foot ladder. It takes 6 people to throw this one. Weighs over 230 pounds. You can also see we've got some more hand tools. We've got more 6-foot hooks in here, and then we have another 16-foot ladder and then 10-foot ladders.
So we talked about speed on this tower ladder, and one of the reasons that we have it like this, and Jamie and those guys designed it like this, is because when we get there, this thing will come out and we can get going with it. Somebody's hanging out of a window because that's the only way they can get out. We're in a hurry, so the quicker we can get these out, the better.
That's right.
We also talked about this A-frame or this folding ladder.
That's right.
A lot of people don't realize, but once we get inside a house and we have to get to the attic, this thing is going to let us get to the attic so we can go ahead and put fire out up above.
Yep.
So.
It works really well in elevators too.
Yeah.
Whenever we have people stuck in elevators, we use that a lot. So moving down this side, the other side was sort of our technical rescue side, and now moving down here we have some more firefighting and extrication equipment. Back here we have the RIT compartment. I'm sure you guys saw that on the engine company. It's the exact same. We have a RIT pack and a RIT search bag. This lets us look for downed firefighters and rescue them. Moving here we have some hand tools. So there's a lot of different types of things that we work on that require us to take things apart. If someone is stuck in something, we have a man and machine kit right here that allows us to cut apart equipment. People get their hands stuck in all sorts of crazy things. So that gives us a bunch of tools and abilities to do that. We've got a water cooler and then just some more various hand tools right there mounted so we can quickly access them.
So as we move down the truck company here, you guys will see on this tower that if there is a problem, we have to solve it. It's not anybody else to call, all right? So we are it. So anytime you see us in a compartment that looks like a regular floor jack or just some lights or a drill, anything that happens, this tower has to go and handle. When the engine gets there and they can't handle it, we have to handle it. So we're basically the fallback and the safety for all this. So just like you saw on the other side, same light, some kits here for the jacks and the drills up top.
Yeah, one thing too to notice, I'm sure you guys saw on the other side, is we have these spare cylinder holders here. Just like the engine, we have the ability, if we go to a fire, we can switch these out with the cylinders in our air packs, and then that way we're ready to answer another call. It just helps us maintain our preparedness level whenever we're out inside, out dealing with emergencies.
So we have the auto extrication side. These two compartments basically take care of our auto extrication when somebody's trapped. And we do go to auto extrications. Just because we're a big tower ladder doesn't mean we go and support the other units. We have a full complement of here extrication equipment with rams, spreaders, cutters, airbags, and shoring.
Yep. So think Jaws of Life, everybody. When you guys hear Jaws of Life, this is what we're talking about. We have a multitude of cribbing. Kevin meant cribbing when he said shoring, but we have cribbing here. We've got wedges. We have a great ability to begin any type of vehicle extrication. Now, sometimes you guys might hear about the rescue. In the event that we have a very complicated auto extrication, the rescue will be there to assist us, and they have even more equipment that we'll expand upon in the tour of that next week.
Same side, the same compartment that we saw on one side, on the other side is on this side. So the officer and the driver's side have the same compartments. Because we don't want to have to try to run it underneath the truck or around the end of the truck, we can do it off of both sides. Basically the same thing that you saw on the other side. This compartment is kind of fun too.
Yeah, we have more equipment for vehicle stabilization, so anytime a vehicle ends up on its side or on its roof, we have to stabilize it. So these shores here allow us to do that. We also have some more equipment for forcible entry. We've got some Halligan bars, Lincoln bar, we've got some rams, and then we have some come-alongs and ratchet straps to allow us to complete vehicle extrication.
So just like on the other side, the compartment, now the truck is split up into inside, outside. If you're sitting behind the officer, your job is to go inside and take care of inside things like forcing doors, search and rescue, getting that smoke out of there, whatever you've got to do on the inside. On the outside of the truck, you're going to be throwing ladders and cutting holes and doing different things at house fires, and everybody has a different job. So basically, same thing, compartment comes through, seat flips down, you can either ride forwards or backwards, but this is the inside crew, they're going with the officer.
Yep, and their number one job is to make sure that we gain entry into the building. So the engine's number one job is to stretch hose and spray water. But they can't do anything if the door's locked and we can't get through. So their number one job coming up is they force entry, and then once that we've gained access, they're going to immediately start searching for the fire and searching for anybody who could still be inside.
Officer's compartment, no different here in the officer's seat. They got a computer than you saw on the engine. They got an air pack. They control everything over here on this side. Of course, you can see they can take care of the sirens, horns. They got tools on this rig. So things are just a little bit different, not too much. All right, let's go around, and we're going to go up in the aerial. When we get back, we'll show you around.
All right, everybody. So next we're going to set up the outriggers on the vehicle. The aerial itself weighs 7,000 pounds. So what we need to do is we need to stabilize this vehicle so that when we move that aerial, the vehicle doesn't want to tip. So what you're getting ready to see is Lieutenant Schaefer is placing ground pads down for the outriggers to sit on, and then we're going to set the truck up so that we can fly the aerial.
Set down here on the ground. Now we'll make our way back up to the turntable. Now the driver's job solely would probably be to stay on this turntable. The rest of the crew would try to go up to the basket. So we'll make our way up, we'll show you around. We're up here on the turntable. This is where all the operations happen until we get up in the basket. The first thing this driver is going to do is going to come over here to this and open this compartment, and this controls all the ladder that you see up and down, extending and retracting. So once we throw this into motion, we can move down to the basket and show you what happens up there.
So up here we have the basket for the aerial. You guys can notice we have controls up here just like we have on the turntable. Up here, the firefighters can then fly the basket to wherever they need to go in relation to the building. This aerial is 101 feet off the ground. So we're going to take you guys all the way up. So while we're moving, I have the ability to raise, move to the right, and extend the aerial as well. So as I do that, you can see we're quickly moving up into the Manassas skyline. As you guys can notice, the beautiful Manassas downtown skyline. To my right, we have our water tower. Further into Old Town, we have our other water tower. You can see the state championship sign. Osborne High School, 2006, alma mater. As we look further off into the skyline towards 66, you can see the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountain. We have some pretty good visibility up here. Got a nice view. And then now we have view of beautiful Route 28 headed northbound into Manassas Park in Centerville. So we typically do this every day. We set the aerial up, we run it through its paces, we make sure that it can extend all the way up and retract properly, as well as lower and move correctly. We're going to take the aerial back down to the ground, put everything away. We try not to hang out up here too long because in the event we do get an emergency call, it does take a couple minutes to put everything away. All right, so two things that we have here is over the front, we actually have a master stream. Just like the deck gun on the engine, we can flow water up here and rain it down on the fire. We also have the ability to electronically manipulate where we want the stream to go. Also, we have a communication box behind us that allows us to talk to the firefighter on the turntable. I can see Lieutenant Schaefer down there, but yelling at him from 100 feet away isn't the most practical thing. So I can talk right into this box and he can answer me. Hey there, Kevin.
Hey, Lieutenant Jewett, I'm on my way up.
All right, man. We'll see you in a second. Hey there, Lieutenant Schaefer. Come on in. Whew. You a little out of breath? It's been a minute since you've done that.
That's what happens when you're old. All right, it's a much better view up here. Take us home.
All right, I'll bring us home. We like to ask that everybody keep their arms inside the ride at all times. The City of Manassas is not liable for any injuries that occur while riding Tower 501.
I thought we were supposed to have our...
As you can see, Lieutenant Schaefer's not a very good listener.
Now I'm sure Lieutenant Jewett's told you, but we have a little stabilizer up here automatically levels this basket. But it also has, and this is kind of a new feature as we started to get later in the time with the trucks when they get developed, is auto bedding. So he'll hit a button and this thing will automatically put it away so we don't have any problems.
So all I have to do is hold that switch and the aerial will put itself away properly.
We have more things to come. I know you're sitting at home and you're bored. We can't wait to see you, okay?
Yep. Thanks for joining us, and please come on out and see us once all these restrictions lift. And look forward in the future. We're going to be doing a tour of the station here and the rescue squad. So we'll be putting together a few more of these videos for everybody at home.
All right, bye everybody.
Thanks.